Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of Bigger Than Small. Today's topic is leadership and what are the characteristics of a good leader versus the characteristics of a bad leader. I feel like one of those characteristics, as far as being a good leader, is communication. Being able to communicate tasks and be able to give out tasks and being able to delegate your team in an authoritative but respectful manner. And what I mean by that is assigning people to a task, whether it's like picking or putting things away, housekeeping, or what special projects, whatever the task may be. I feel like you got to be able to relay that information to your people, but not do it like saying, oh, I'm the boss, you got to do what I say because I'm in charge and you're just an associate. Like, no, you cannot do that, because nowadays people are not willing to put up with that. And if you keep treating them like that, you're going to get backlash. And then now it becomes an issue, because now your associates don't want to work for you because of the way you treat them, especially when it comes to how you talk to them, because you feel like, just because you're the boss, you can do whatever and think everything is cool. It's not. So I feel like, part of it is communication, being able to relay tasks to your people, but being able to do it in a authoritative but respectful way. And there's a way to do that. You could just say, hey, I need you to do such and such, and if they ask, why or whatever, just explain. You don't have to give them no long, lengthy response. Just be like, this is a task that we need to get done in order to reach our goals, blah, 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 however you want to phrase it. In a calm, respectful tone like that, instead of being like, because I said so, I'm the boss. Like, no, people not going to go for that shit. No one's going to go for that shit. Especially nowadays. No one is going for that. You talk to people like that nowadays, and they're either going to cuss you out, not do the job, or just straight up walk off. And I feel like a lot of jobs lately, because there's been a lot of strikes going on around the country, I feel like it's because people are finally getting fed up with that. Getting fed up with people feeling like they're better than everyone else because of the color of their vest, or what's on their name tag, or what's their job title. Because one thing leaders need to understand is, at the end of the day, you are still human just like the rest of us. You laugh like us, you cry like us, and you damn sure bleed like us. So don't think that a title puts you above everybody else. So that's why the good characteristic is being able to communicate effectively. And that's showing signs of a good leader. And a bad leader would be, again, bad communication, not being able to relay information properly. Right? Another example would be your work ethic. As a leader, you are in charge of delegating the task and making sure your associates stay on task and everything. But I also feel like you shouldn't just be sitting back, unless your specific job has it to where you're not supposed to do those things. Then that's a different story. But if you're able to help out, especially when you notice that things are getting kind of tight, when it's getting close to your deadlines and you feel like you might not make it, instead of just being trying to crack the whip and and trying to be like, y'all need to work harder, we not there yet, y'all need to work harder, no, I feel like you should get out there and join in. Not to say that you need to be doing that all the time, because you should also be delegating it to where you can make sure that the tasks get done. But if sometimes if things just gets out of control, or say if you're picking orders in the warehouse and all of a sudden your orders jump from 200 to 800, obviously, and they're due in couple of hours, it looks like you're not might not be able to make it in time, I feel like those are one of those times where you should be able to jump in and be able to help out, right? Like, you should be able to, unless your job just says that that's not allowed, in which case you need to prepare ahead of time to make for stuff like that, especially if you know that that could happen. But I feel like if you are able to help out in any way, I feel like you should, and not just stand on the sidelines, because not only does that ensure that, like, you're closer to your goals and everything, it also shows to your people that you are willing to work with them. That it's not like, oh, it's me versus you, it's us versus the problem, right? I feel like, if you do it like that, then it shows your people that you are willing to work hard, and you're not going to give them something that you won't do yourself. And I feel like that's a great motivator, because me myself, as being a leader, I'm the type of leader that where if I notice that things are getting bad, I'm not going to, like I said, crack the whip and just like try to push my associates harder and this and that. I'm also out there with them. So if I'm saying we need to work harder, best believe I'm out there sweating, busting my ass just like they are. Right? And I feel like that shows your people, that you're willing to help out, that you're willing to jump in, you're willing to roll up your sleeves if they need help, right? And especially if they ask, and like, say if they ask for help, say like, I need help with this assignment, you shouldn't just shun them away or just say you need to figure out this and that. You should be out there helping them any way they can, whether they be someone that's brand new, that's still learning their position, or someone who's been there for a while, but maybe you know a way to do it that they don't. Because it doesn't matter whether you've been on a job for like 2 months or 20 years, you can still learn new things, right? Nothing is just like stagnant. Like, you can always learn new things. So I feel like, you should be able to jump out there and help your people and motivate them, as opposed to just standing on the sidelines trying to force them to do something that may or may not even be possible. Because one thing about it, I feel like even if you do jump in there and you do help out, even if at the end of the day you don't meet your goals, at least you can say you and your team did your best. If the higher manager, or any managers that are above you, want to fuss and complain about that, at least you're able to say, me and my team did the best we could. Sometimes things just are out of our control. We have no, like I said before, like, orders can explode, or you can be given a whole lot of tasks but very little time to do it. Now every time you should try to be able to complete it, no matter how impossible it may be, but sometimes it's just not possible. Simple as that. But to be able to say that I was out there with my team and we were able to do it, we were able to do the best that we can, I feel like that shows to them, like, maybe next time something like that comes up, maybe they're willing to work harder because they know that they're not in it by themselves. They know that they got you on their team too. Know that you got their back no matter what, right? And I feel like that's another example. But at that same time, though, like, you should also, while you should be able to help your team and treat them respectfully, you can treat them respectfully, be friendly, but don't try to be everyone's friend, right? That's another thing, because like especially, I feel like this is a main thing, especially when it comes to people who were associates before and then became, like, say, a lead or a department manager or a supervisor or whatever the case may be. I feel like that's a problem with that, because now that it's like, oh, that's the homie, I ain't gotta worry about it, this and that. Like, no, you gotta, like, while you still gotta be, respectful, you can still be friendly, you still gotta have that firm, like, you still gotta be able to stand firm and say, like, and be like, if I need this task done, then I need this task done, right? I know we was cool in the past, but like now, I'm your boss, I'm your manager, I'm your whatever. You need to convey that and let them know, like, look, that whoever, like back when he was associates, he or she, whoever, is no longer here. From now on, this is me. Not to say that you still can't be friendly, you still can't be respectful, but you gotta know when to draw that line. Otherwise, people will walk all over you. And in that same token, like I said, like, you know, be sparingly respectful. Like, you gotta be firm, but at the same time, you also gotta be understanding. Like, sometimes people, like, we all have bad days, you know. We all might have a rough morning. Like, maybe we had an argument with our spouse, or maybe something's wrong with our child, or maybe, you know, it's just life in general. Like, you know, maybe something's going on, and they might come in and they might, you know, might not be in the best of moods, and when you sign on a task, they might give you a hard time about it. Instead of just being confrontational and wanting to just be like, look, I done told you, blah, 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 whatever. You got, like, sometimes you need to pull them to the side and be like, hey, look, what's wrong, you know? Like, is everything okay at home? Like, you know, is everything good? Are you okay? Is there anything I can help you with? And if they just don't want to, like, you know, they might tell you, like, you know, I'm having issues at home, blah, 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 and then you can work it out like that. If they just want to be like that, then, I mean, all you can do is, like, just try to be there. But at the same time, if it's going to become a problem, then that's a whole nother conversation that you need to have. Like, you need to explain them, like, you know, because I feel like one thing that some people don't know how to do is how to leave their personal life at the door, their personal problems at the door. Like, because I know there was one time, like, when I first became a manager, you know, my father had just passed away, and I became this manager. So now I'm dealing with the loss of my father, while also trying to learn how to deal with this position. And what really made it worse was the fact that there were some people, when I got the position, that kind of didn't really like the fact that I got the position, so they felt like they didn't have to listen to me. They were just like, man, in essence, they was like, man, fuck that nigga. I'm not doing anything he say, blah, 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 whatever, right? And while I'm still in this state, like, you know, I'm still grieving or whatever, I didn't let that take control. I didn't let that be the reason why I start disrespecting people. I was still respectful no matter what. Even though you may not have deserved it, that was still me. And I feel like that's more of an integrity thing. I feel like that's more of a moral character. Like, that's just a personal characteristic. But still, though, like, I didn't let my personal problems get in the way of my duties as a lead, right? And I even had conversations with a couple of people, you know, it's like, look, and this is one thing I always tell my people that like, you know, whenever I have a new hire or whatever, I always tell them, look, if you have an issue with me, or you feel like I might have disrespected you in any way or anything like that, let me know, right? Let me know, because I'd rather you tell me I'm wrong than let me believe that I'm right, right? Because at the end of the day, I understand, like I said, I'm human too. I got my bad days. I don't want that to be a reason why I just start disrespecting people, because no one deserves that. You didn't cause none of these problems, so why should I take it out on you? You know what I mean? But then you got some people, especially when it comes to management, who might have a bad day, and because they're having a bad day, they decide everybody's having a bad day. And now it affects performance to a point where, and sometimes it's to a point where now, even if you do end up get over whatever that is, people are going to remember that shit. They're going to remember how you treat them. And that's another thing. You got to watch how you treat people, especially if you got promoted internally. People are going to remember how you treated them when you was associates. Don't think just because you're a lead / supervisor that shit's cool and you can just do whatever, say whatever, like the past didn't happen. No, the past happened, and best believe it or not, whether you forgot about it or not, they will remember. And that's how they did. That will dictate how they go, how they are going forward. Like how their work ethic is when you're in charge versus when you're gone. So, and this applies to everything, but like, treat people the way you want to be treated, because best believe when it comes to leadership roles, that could be the difference between you being a effective leader, a good leader that could last a long time, and a bad leader that's about 5 seconds from being walked out the door with your replacement walking in. You know what I mean? Like, that right there, I feel like is one of the major things, like how you treat others, how treating others with respect. At the end of the day, we're all human, and it doesn't matter, like I said before, it doesn't matter what the color of your vest is, what the color of your badge is, or any of that. At the end of the day, we're all still human. So try not to let it go to your heads. But, you know, that's all I have for today. If you agree with anything I say, please comment down below. If you disagree, tell me what you disagree with. If you want to add on to it, anything, basically any thoughts you may have, feel free to drop it down below. And also, one more thing, I just want to clarify, because I've had someone ask me about this before. This podcast this is a bi-weekly podcast. All right, so I'll do it every other week. Perhaps, you know, in 2022, I may be able to do this weekly, or at the very least 3 weeks out the month. But for now, it's bi-weekly. I feel like that works better with my schedule. And let's see what 2022 holds. You know what I mean? Hopefully it holds good things for all of us, and we can finally start moving forward from all this shit. But anyway, that's all I got for today. Until next time.